Welcome back to our 5th edition game set in the Points of Light. When last we left our heroes, they were receiving their just rewards for defeating 2 significant threats to the Dwarven stronghold of Hammerfast. A small squadron of guards had found them during the morning, and after confirming their identity, allowed 3 experienced monster hunters to step through and confirm the truth. So, we begin as the group that had headed down to the nest is returning back to the intersection where the battle took place against the worm. I'll take us over to the map just so we all remember.
DM, from the Hive Lord, any remains that could be salvaged, or is most
it was churned through. There was what was the nest was now a tangle of tunnels, and almost like the worms went through so many times that it collapsed, and you were seeing an inverted cone, like a pyramid, a circular pyramid headed down, as everything of the nest had collapsed inwards. In fact, the remnants of worked stone that you saw in the nest that you had surmised were from the initial construction of this tunnel, they were fragments in the rubble of that collapse. And you think the few Kruthiks that may have survived probably had a very difficult time escaping the worm, and some of the guards stayed down there and are exploring the exterior of it to make sure there are no additional tunnels.
All right.
So you have some remains from the Kruthiks you fought here in the tunnel, but
nothing of the Hive Lord. Yeah.
Question, did we get a long rest then?
Yeah.
yes.
We did.
After
It's a new
you
day.
defeated the worm, you retreated outside the tunnel, took a long rest, had your first experience with 2 tiny huts, an improvised hot tub.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
it is now
I
the next
watched
day.
the episode. I wasn't here last time, but I watched the episode, so I know what happened. More or less.
Remember, everyone can add the dagger to your equipment.
Yes,
Ooh,
made
right.
from the many,
Everyone?
many teeth.
That is like
Yeah.
a bone
Everyone's
dagger,
getting-
or like
Yeah, it's a teeth dagger from
teeth
the.
dagger.
So, the group that had headed down towards the nest is returning with Stonefist Direduck. And as she comes back up onto the intersection, she turns towards the guard captain Steelboot. She gives a nod, and then Abjurer Ironpass, that had stayed up here and had been examining the brain of the worm, along with Horpik, had determined part of the reason for the erratic behavior. She also turns to the captain and nods. And you see as the captain moves towards his armored goat and rummages along in the saddlebags and pulls out a large metal tablet. It's a dark blue.
An iPad. Sorry.
No. Johan would know this is steel that has been treated to be rust resistant. And brings it around and presents it to each of you, and says that you are being awarded the Merit of Service to Hammerfast, which
Oh.
Yes.
You should
In the
have.
case of Johan, allows you entry into the inner city of Hammerfest. You can waive 100 gold pieces of personal tax when entering the city, and should you need it, you can have room and board at guard barracks of the city. So he moves up first towards Keldav, and he asks you to press your hand to the tablet.
I'll press the hand.
Yeah, it feels cold to the touch since it's steel, and then there's a moment where you know how metal warms to your touch and equalizes? This happens much faster, and then it fades. And you pull your hand back, and you see the print was the shining color of sort of chrome steel, and then it fades back into the almost black blue of the tablet. And he goes along to each of you. As he passes by Johan, he remarks that this is an honor that can be removed. So it was granted for
What do you have to
meritorious
say
deed.
that to me? Like you didn't say it to the other people.
You were
your
removed before.
file. Yeah. You have history with the city.
Well, how good are your records? What happens if I lose this hand and I replace it with another? I still have the merit because I didn't did something to lose it, right?
You don't have to use your hand. It's whatever was used in the function of the act of merit can be recorded, as long as it is yours. And you hear Sam say, use my amulet for me.
All right. Yes. You have the merit too. I'm gonna place my hand with disdain.
Lena
Then
grins.
The amulet.
What was the name of the
Guard captain?
honor? No.
So sure, I'll place it. It's
Thanks.
the merit of service to Hammerfest.
Hammerfest, yeah.
So
You don't have a title, you have this honor.
can I give myself a title in this group?
So the benefit is we waive 100 gold of tax, and what was the other thing?
Access
you can
to the
have
barracks,
room and board.
access to the city.
Yeah, and
Access to
access to the
barracks.
inner city, which you already had as someone part of the lore guild, but is normally quite a complex endeavor, requiring a sponsor or acceptance into the guild, and it's what was revoked from Johan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do I need just to touch it or press?
Just a touch is enough.
Touch.
And you feel, for Siege, it's slightly different, because you are not used to having direct sensations of temperature. For you, temperature tends to be dulled as it passes through your outer shell, but there's a moment as you press it that you feel almost as if you were integrating this plate of metal, but you know you're not. Your wood is not in contact with that metal, and it is your essence. In a way, you're guessing your soul, if there is a thing, pushing through and touching the tablet and being recorded. And
Weird.
yeah, when Maravilla does it, does it quite happily. She goes like, my abuelita has one of these. And then she mentions, I think Lena would also know, these metal tablets are the temporary recording, because they are not considered to last long enough. This is what is used and taken back until a memorial can be crafted in stone and kept in a hall of records that will last what is considered acceptable periods of time.
So a pendrive, got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically,
so
yeah. This is a biometric scan on a pen drive that's then, going to be transferred over to a secure server.
Yeah. So we only need to press once, not twice or 3 times,
Correct.
4 times. Okay, good. So just once. It's magic. It works.
Yep.
Put your
Just
finger,
like in
put
real
your
life.
index finger
Yeah.
next your thumb.
Yeah.
It's like one of these sci-fi ones where you put your finger and then there's like a needle that comes in and takes your blood and it records your DNA, like that, but magic.
No, I hate that. I absolutely hate that. No.
Then you just correct me if I wrote correctly the name of the daggers.
Almost.
So everyone-
It's King Fisher, not Fisher.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I'm.
Because
okay.
kingfishers are a real thing in the real world.
Yeah, I that was my
And it's kind of
dyslexic
famous,
mind.
Yeah.
I did the same mistake in my notes. Don't worry about it.
Doing
Yeah.
I got
something
you.
weird.
Did so.
No. By the way, I haven't written the 2 ways, so I just copied the wrong one. That was even worse.
Yeah.
Okay. So as the captain is going along the whole group, you see as Abjur Beryl gets close to Kildav,
Okay.
looks at you and goes, "Do you have a clear goal with this group?"
Right now, yes, we do. We are going to find his family, and I'll point it at Siege.
My advice: achieve the goal, then stop. A group this size, it's hard to keep it together. It's harder to keep them alive. You keep going after your goal, sooner or later you're going to lose one. You can make an insight check if you want.
Yeah, I'll just do an insight. I'll do an
Like-
insight check just
Did
just to
anyone
see.
hear that?
I think
If
I know what he's
if you're
talking
close
about.
to Kildav, sure, but I mean, she's not whispering, but she is having a one-on-one conversation with Kildav.
Okay, that's a 27.
Sure. So this is clearly coming from past trauma.
Yeah.
This is a group that Lena has been heard about for centuries, and she's maybe 200. So probably the group has been active since before she, maybe as she was born or even before. The older man, you remember Lena, the stories she heard, they were young and they were brothers.
Yeah.
Now there's
So
only.
I'll basically look at her and say, thanks for the advice, but in a weird way, we all expect death. I think that is part of our motives. Thanks, though. And
There are worse things. And you notice they have a
Yeah.
cleric, and Maravilla can recover some remarkable things. This cleric is more powerful than Maravilla.
Yeah.
And it's yeah.
And there's also dying of boredom. And I'll
Luxury.
smile. Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm not trying to play with them, but I'm trying to say chill the fuck up.
and she's trying to give you the advice she wishes she had
Yeah.
gotten 150
but-
years ago.
By the way, I am not Kildav is not trying to be facetious. It's
about it?
Yeah. No, it's not trying. It's not that. It's the fact that Kildav doesn't know what to do apart from traveling with his group right
Is
now.
this
Or nothing. So it's I get what you're saying, but the fuck am I supposed to do?
just
So, yeah.
gamble?
Yeah. So,
Where do I get money for that?
Yeah, basically that's why I'm not trying to be Killer's not trying to be facetious. It's almost I mean, I understand what you're saying. I'm not dumb, but
It's you're telling me to start a savings account, but I'm still in high school.
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, precisely like that. Yeah.
basically that.
Yeah. And so with that, after everyone has pressed their hand or consciousness container to the tablet. You are free to go, and the deep delve turns and begins to walk away.
I
So-
would like to make a question to the observer.
Sure.
Are you the best mage that a Hammerfast has? Are you at the top?
I'm the hardest to kill.
That doesn't answer my question.
Do you want to say anything? No, I'm not gonna say anything. I'll just let him. Yeah, don't worry. No.
All right.
The observer was the one that gave Kelda the advice, wasn't she? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd like to approach her once we're like kind of
Sure.
leaving and separating from the rest of the group. And does she look old, or is she like
She looks
Middle-aged.
early in her 3rd century.
okay?
So, yeah,
That's kind of
middle-aged.
for dwarves. Yeah,
Yeah.
middle-aged. Yeah, sure.
DM, would I know before asking the dwarves if I don't have this information, but would I know how far I can expect the presence or at least certain connections to the city of Hammerfast, like before crossing the sea? That is.
Yes, you can definitely, like, where you guys are headed, you are very much within the influence of the dwarven kingdoms within the Dawnforge Mountains, and
Okay, so
within those, Hammerfast is one of importance.
I don't need to ask the question, but I'll just I'm not gonna do the voice of her, but I'll go to them and thank them for for their service and their taking the time to really meet us, and we really hope to come back with good news and hopefully make them a little bit prouder of for the CD.
Yeah, and they answer in kind, like, you are well on your way.
She turns
Defeating
around and
even
she
a
blushes.
juvenile worm as a journeywoman, that's impressive.
I mean, that was not me. That was mostly them. I just skittled out of the way, but they're fantastic. I'm very lucky.
I think the story has been told, so they know that you were the one to transform Gufran into a massive ape that could go toe-to-toe with the worm. So it's very much a... Just because you didn't deal the killing blow doesn't mean it's not your victory.
Yeah. Actually, could I look for the rock? Like the rock?
Sure.
Is it still there? Okay.
It is.
Dwayne!
Yeah, so if the object is still there because he's not the rock, as long as he's not animated, I'll
Correct.
just go and actually paint a couple like glasses and a raised eyebrow, and I'm gonna be like, thank you for your service, and I'll turn around.
Sunglasses, yes.
Yeah,
sunglasses.
Yeah, sunglasses, because those do exist in this world, DM, right?
Awesome. You just invented them.
There are glasses
that's
that
it.
are meant to protect your eyes, particularly in very snowy areas. There are goggles that artificers wear
Yeah.
to protect themselves while welding.
And wrestling.
Just before all this, I'll ask the Beryl when she's when we were
Yeah, when you
finishing
guys
the
are talking?
conversation. I'll just say one question. Would we find magical shops and things of that kind on the town we're going? I imagine you know this.
Beyond consumables, it's rare. You could find
Okay.
places like the Crafting Guild,
Okay.
where they can make items for you. You could commission enchanters. You could do the work yourself. And she points towards Johan and Maravilla.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was just wondering. Thanks, though.
For those that sell artifacts, generally you have to look beyond this plane.
You see Keldav's eyes wide in a sense of gambling frenzy.
Give me a couple of levels and I'm gonna take you wherever you want.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I imagine that when Keldav turns around and goes away, and all the deep delve looks at Keldav's back and sees the butterfly wings on the cape, they look like they cock their head like, what the fuck's happening there? And I just fuck.
I totally forgot that.
I never will. Keldav doesn't know. Diego does.
So wait, so that implies that Keldav doesn't take off his clothes or anything when he goes to sleep? Is that what you're telling us?
I think cloak, he covers himself with that cloak. Like, it makes a really good blanket. It's an elven cloak. It's always comfortable.
Yeah. Real de blanky.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen it? Oh, yeah, no. All right. Cool.
It would require magical substances to get it dirty. Like, it would, like, magic sludge to get it muddy.
Right.
It's very high quality and slightly petty. You see as the Stonefist and Maravilla are talking, and they're going over the rubble from the initial destruction of the tunnel, and they like lift up some of these boulders and they tap them, and eventually the Stonefist, like, she takes one of the boulders back with her, and Maravilla comes back. She goes, "They're gonna use that to make the tablet, like the permanent one."
Oh, that is so cool.
I know, right?
Yeah, when we Jesus, I'm so excited. But when we come back, we should really. No, you know what? I think that hot tub did something to me. I'm not doing that again. At least for a while, will, cold.
Worry
cold
over you. She'll offer.
Thanks.
She'll make you like some herbal tea to soothe your throat.
All right, thank you. But yeah, we should really return and see it.
By the time we come back, we're gonna have statues.
Yeah, dude. I'll make those for us.
A very good Maravilla impression, by the way.
And Sam turns to Siege and goes, "Is that offensive?"
I was thinking about that just right now. It's like us, but not moving.
If I hear that,
of me. It's more of me.
If I hear that interaction, I'll look back and I'll say, "Why would it be offensive? It's not a mechanism."
Imagine, okay, so the way it works, at least statues for me, it's like you get to live forever, because stone, it doesn't, nothing happens to it unless, I don't know,
It comes a worm and eat it.
Yeah, but it would be really difficult. So you actually get to live forever, have like a, I don't know, like a way to tell people your story,
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
I know, I make a lot of good points. Thank you for
I don't know about that, but don't get ahead of ourselves.
All right, we'll talk.
We're together. She's not ahead.
I don't know if we age,
That's
Siege. I don't know if we age.
Me neither. For what I understand, we don't.
I mean, your materials can decay with time, rust, and rot.
But
We should
can
look
be
into
repaired.
stone as a material.
We should. Maybe. Wind and water can erode the stone anyway.
And
Are we
stone,
going? I'm sick of this talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine.
I assume
we're
this is the
talking and we're
conversation
walking.
as everybody's leaving. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're exiting the tunnel.
And when you say that, I say, and stone is brittle, metal bends.
So you continue having a conversation for the 15 minutes or so it takes you to reach the end of the tunnel. You push open and the first thing that hits you is a wave of hot air as it's now noon. Summer in these mountains. The slopes are covered in trees, but it's a dry heat, and as you step out, even though you had light with you within the tunnel, it is still blinding until you get under the shade of the evergreen trees in the area, and you begin your travel for the day.
Praise Billah, says Gufran as she comes out of the tunnel and like once again is showering in light in the sunlight.
Praise the sun.
Literally. Yeah. She's my total opposite.
Man, I wonder the people who watches the show are gonna be like, "Oh, these guys are nerds, dude."
Super nerds.
We are playing
actually,
D&D.
no, they're gonna be.
Yes.
We cannot make any argument
No.
here.
Actually, they're gonna be like, "Dude, are you ever gonna play D&D, or is it just gonna be references? Like, what the balls?"
So, speaking about playing D&D, we move to
All right.
the Hex map.
Hey!
Yay! Hex map. We haven't
Yay.
seen you since session 1.
Yep.
Yep. So there you are next to Hammerfest.
We
and
crossed 1 hex.
Yep.
Like 4 sessions.
And
did
that
it.
is because of the access to the dwarven tunnels that allow you to, over the course of the next 4 hours or so, make about a day and a half of travel that it would take you going around up and down mountains as the trade road winds its way through the Dawnforge Mountains. I am introducing a not necessarily random encounter, but encounter table of things. So lower results are worse, and the more dangerous an area, the smaller the die. So basically, if you're rolling a d4, you're always going to have an encounter. If you're rolling a d20, you're probably going to have very low chance of encounters, and probably maybe even some good ones higher up. So currently, you're in a fairly safe area because the heat of the day means that the more dangerous creatures in the area try and stay away from the heat. So somebody roll a d12.
I designate that person is going to be Jose.
Why
Yeah.
me?
I love it.
Because it's funny.
Which way are we going?
You hate
You
me.
are going east.
But are we
trying to
going?
the
I
right.
mean,
No,
are we
Yeah,
going
you're
to
basically going
Burkport?
from the T to the H. Yeah, and from Burkport, you're hoping to get
Okay. So we are
temporary
going to
passage to Icebeak. Okay, well,
I did what
Jose,
I did because I know. I know. I
There's
know my
10%.
players.
so I'm glad I prepped this because there was so little chances of something happening. So, lovely day. The
fuck
oppressive
me.
heat
Yeah.
as you're moving along.
Yeah.
You pass a couple of tunnels. Each one takes you about an hour, and every time you come out, you are hit once again with the heat. And after the 4th tunnel, you probably paused to have lunch at some point during the day. Yeah, it's been about 4 in the afternoon. The sun is more difficult to see now, covered by the mountains, but still several hours of light still left. As you exit the tunnel, you begin moving your way around one of the mountains, and suddenly there's a shift in the wind as you turn the corner, and the oppressive, quiet air that you had been breathing, suddenly you are hit by a wave of heat and smoke as you realize the ladder of the mountain in front of you is on fire, and it is spreading above you along the slope of the mountain and under you, and you see animals come spreading out of the wilderness. I need all of you guys to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh no.
I'll roll for Maravilla, I suppose.
Balls.
Is everybody near me so they can get like the paladin
Sure.
bonus?
Let's say 3 people are near you.
Okay.
Could I be riding my?
Yeah, you're riding
my
your broom,
and
but I assume you were 5 or 10 feet off the air. So
okay.
And yeah,
Daniel,
can I be one of the-
I see it.
Near to Gufran?
I'll still roll it.
You do see it, Siege.
Okay,
So, yeah.
I'm not near you, Gufran. I can roll with advantage.
Okay.
I'm gonna
With
be near
advantage?
Gufran, and I roll
Yeah.
a 14 plus
Okay.
4 plus 1. How
I-
high is your
and-
charisma?
Yeah, I'll take.
+5. I
The
have
first
a
one.
Yeah, Patty takes it and Lina takes it, and I'm not gonna take it because I'm gonna be on El Gato, and I imagine El Gato is wide enough to be apart from everyone. I roll an
That was
An
a
18?
19. Come on, that was a
Excellent.
19.
Yeah, 26 total for me.
19 for Siege.
9 total.
Do I have to roll
Gufran.
for Sam?
Do I have to roll for Rohit? For Rohit?
Let's count Rohit with you. Do roll for Sam. And
I rolled an 18. I don't know if I
Sam
need to
rolled
roll
a 1.
for- Oh no!
yeah,
Tell
that
me
makes
if I
sense.
need to roll for.
El Gato.
Yeah.
We'll cover mounts with the rider.
Okay.
Maravilla did.
I don't
Did-
care about my mount. I care about Ari. So kill my mount. I don't care. Fuck that horse.
Can I push Ari?
It's dead anyway.
It's true. So, you, as the smoke and animals come past you, I think only Gufran failed by the point where you basically ride ahead and interpose yourself with Rohit, and the antlers glow, and the animals start trying to veer around you. Some of them impact you, but they don't hit the majority of the group, as you manage to set yourselves in more of an arrowhead shape. So you don't take much damage from the impact. Gufran, you lose 2 hit die from the impact to represent sort of damage that you'll be able to heal after this.
Sure.
And you are now left with the fire is in front of you. You are on the trade road, and it looks somewhat clear to you. There are flames on both sides of it, and there are branches that are falling and sparks that are flying on both sides. But you basically have the choice of rush back and try and close yourselves off in the tunnel, and maybe like retreat all the way back to where you can have more breathable air, or force yourselves across. And those are, I'll tell you, if you force yourselves across, it's the Constitution saving throw, and should you fail, you take exhaustion as the smoke gets into your lungs.
Could I, with my 26 dex save, I imagine I would just go, not through the animals, but I would just try to
Sure.
gain a little bit of altitude. Could I fly up a little bit, maybe like a 40-50 feet up, and see if there's any
Sure.
any way that is a little bit safer if we wanted to go through?
You see, and as you get higher, everything becomes obscured in a cloud of smoke. Make a perception check
Okay.
as you're trying to see through it and through the haze of the heat.
I'll send Giratha.
Giratha. Sure. You can go ahead and make that perception check with advantage.
Exactly, so you can get an advantage.
Can I use
need it.
Divine Sense?
Yeah,
Sure.
I would have definitely needed it. 16. Thank you.
Okay.
You're trying to watch as the trade road goes through, and you think it's maybe a kilometer. It looks fairly clear. There are some parts where maybe the fire is cutting across, but you think you can jump over that or rush through that. It looks like the trade road is wide enough that you can get across. You're not seeing where the other point, where the next tunnel entrance is. So you could rush through, and if you miss it, it might take you an additional sort of half day of travel to get to the exit of the tunnel you're supposed to go into, or you could spend more time in the flames, and then you realize, no, you can't afford to spend more time in the flames looking for the tunnel entrance if you miss it on the first time.
Yeah, wait, so it's an entire kilometer, which is for our non
It's,
for our American
half a
audiences?
mile?
How much is it?
Yeah, a little more than half a mile.
A little
Half a
bit.
mile.
bit more.
So,
Yeah.
So all of that is fire and smoke. That is what I understand.
Yeah,
We don't-
the
we don't see
place
the smoke.
closest to you is the most intense, where it's spreading. But
Okay.
there are still smoke. There are smolders still further in. So the worst will be going into it now, and coming out of it. But you are still going to have a good 8-10 minutes of having to cross while breathing smoked, choked air.
Okay, I'll go down and relay that information to the group. I don't know. It doesn't look specifically safe. We could make it, but I don't know.
Well, what is causing this all this smoke and fire? I say as I
Oh.
put my mask on.
That was my other question, actually. Yeah, could I see where the fire is coming from? Because of the
You're
intensity
seeing
of the fire.
it's too big. You can't follow it back to the source. You
Okay.
do know it is the second month of a very hot summer, and wildfires are not like they happen sometimes
Okay.
in these mountains, and in fact many of the trees rely on the fire season for their life cycles.
Okay. So blah 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 to the group. Yeah, I think this needs to be a group decision. I think.
Let's go ahead. Let's jump to it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
I
what
could-
Maravilla would say.
I can fly ahead and give us a little bit of information as we go, but it's very smoky out up there. I just
I think
I
stay close
cannot
to the
see
ground.
very well.
Yeah.
I can,
Maravilla.
I can handle the
I
smoke.
don't need to. I don't need to breathe.
Or actually, who can? Well, you would send your bird with me all the time, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
worry.
all right. But would you be willing to fly with me if necessary? If it's better,
So I think
don't know.
you would know that flying more than 10 feet, in fact, more than 5 feet, is a bad idea. Because if you start to choke and you lose control, the odds of you landing back down
Yeah.
on the trade road are slim.
Totally right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'll actually just put Uratha a bit ahead, just trying
Okay.
to basically assess where we're going. Not that far, like 15 feet
Sure.
ahead. Not that much.
I can
All right.
I can take point and help with any debris or anything that is obstructing the way.
Okay, let's go.
All right, so you go ahead.
Anything again? Anyone against this?
No.
Yeah, Sam says
just-
that
I just wanna
they
use
can
divine
move
sense,
along the
yeah.
back, and like if
Yeah,
anyone falters, you can pick them up.
I'm gonna take over using all of you.
Sure.
Like Sam in front of me and
Do I get anything
uh,
out of the divine sense?
Extend your senses out. There's no extraplanar presence here. It's natural fire. Whether the initial cause maybe was something else, you don't know. But this current fire is ordinary, and the animals that went by you were the denizens that normally live here. And with some meta, I will say the whispery voices in the audio are because that's the track that I could find. A roaring fire.
Okay, okay. I was thinking about that.
You're creeping me out.
Yes, it is creepy, but I was like,
I love it.
well, this is. Odds are they're not going to like. If you got a slightly higher roll in the D12, you would have seen the wildfire from far away. So, I was like,
If you
well,
got a 2, Jose,
What are
and
the
didn't roll
odds?
that bad.
You know, get
a
it.
three or between a 3 and a 6, you would have seen the wildfire from further away.
Keep going. No problem.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway, so I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw
gonna stay near.
Okay.
What reason?
Throw.
Hot
Yeah.
or a breathe?
for the heat. Yeah, for the heat. Like
Okay.
Plus 5,
withstanding
whoever
the
you
initial burst of heat, like as you hold your breath and push through, and then
Easiest.
through the
Easiest
smoke.
constitution
21.
of my life.
Now we're talking, yeah.
So that's
Oh.
24.
That's a 12 for me.
Oh no.
Maravilla's
That's an
doing great.
8 for me.
Well, yeah. makes sense.
33.
What?
Yeah, because
Yeah, fully
19.
insulated beneath your.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Constitution
historical
plus
mass.
9 and plus 5 from Gufran.
Yep.
This is not the first time you have had to be in a very hot environment with noxious fumes. This is like, oh yeah,
This
it's
is-
been
this
a
is
while.
Tuesday.
I remember.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get good ventilation working in labs deep underground made out of stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, yes, Lena and Keldav. So Lena, you take 1 point of exhaustion. Keldav, you take 2. As much as you try and hold your breath, your body, perhaps it's too small, or as you're on top of El Gato trying to make your way to where you know the next tunnel entrance is, the smoke gets into your lungs and you feel it searing from within.
Question for Diego. Would you allow, or do you think that Keldav agreed that Sitch grabbed him to he's not feeling good?
He's
I don't
currently
know.
riding El Gato.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know if-
Contact
yeah.
with heat metal is going to.
Yeah, hot metal, and yeah, it's not. No, but by the way, I wouldn't. I mean, it wouldn't. How would I explain this? Keldav would never have the pride in some way to not do that, but he's having a bad time, but he's going ahead right now.
Okay. Well, Sitch is aware that if anyone fall, he will try to hold it.
Of course.
Okay.
Now I'm going to see. Yeah.
Unless he's sorry.
Sorry, just a question. Does D&D Beyond have something to track
Exhaustion.
Exhaustion, yeah,
Go
it's
to
in
conditions.
conditions at the very bottom is exhaustion, and then you click on the level.
Oh, thank you very much. I did.
Yeah, it took me a little bit as well, but it's also, why do
So-
I have inspiration?
2 exhaustion. Already, Diego?
Well, yeah,
Yep.
he failed. He failed by more than 5.
We have
Yep.
to take care with that.
Wait, so
Remember,
it's,
I know.
Take your die.
so how many levels
Yep.
of exhaustion do we take? 1 or 2?
You take 2.
Lena
One,
takes
I get
1.
2.
Keldav took 2.
And can love.
Oh, gee, okay.
Yeah. The rest of you manage to hold your breath and push through, and you realize as you're turning the bends along this mountain, you are now seeing blackened, still smoldering. There are trees where the branches were too weak and fell and burned up, and you're trying to make your way and see through the smoke, and you get to the boulder that marks the entrance to the tunnel, and it is covered in smoldering trunks, and you realize you found it, but you are going to have to push these trunks off, and whoever does it is going to take burn damage to be able to access the tunnel.
It's no problem. Sitch is going
yeah,
to the
could I-
front.
Okay,
All right.
could I?
You
I
can do
think
it, Sam, and regenerate after,
It's a
right?
cubic. Oh, sorry.
So I believe Sam failed the first dexterity save.
Yeah.
So you notice as they're running, you see the wooden structure that underpins their metal parts is blackened and brittle. And he looks down, or they look down at themselves and they go, I believe I'm currently compromised. And so right now, because Sam
All right.
doesn't,
It's-
they don't
it's not
really
in condition
get exhausted.
to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their regeneration is currently reduced.
I can help Siege.
Okay.
I can help a little bit too. I'm going to cast Prestidigitation to chill out 1 cubic foot of
Sure.
dead wood, of burning wood. I don't know if that
So,
helps, but
Yeah, so
we'll
you
do it
guys are
anyway.
taking the time. Whoever is making contact with the wood is going to lose another 2 hit die as you begin to
Does
burn
it
yourself.
help for more people to help in this endeavor?
I can go
or are we
rage.
good with the one?
I would. So it takes at least 2 people. If 4 people help, then instead of losing 2 hit die, each of you loses 1.
Okay.
And either way, you have to make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw
All right.
because of the time you're spending here in the smoke.
Cover your noses. I really think you are kind of weak, and you aren't going to like the smell.
I don't
And
have
I'm going
nose.
to use summon of undead.
Okay.
The zombie version,
Alright.
so it can help.
Sure. He has
Yeah. You by the way,
Jonathan
you guys
appears.
you see Keldab not engaging with even
Yeah.
trying to move anything right now.
I think Keldev right now is focusing on staying on El Gato, making
Yeah.
sure you're headed in the right direction. Yeah.
Okay. So Daniel, how much hit dice with the will lose? One or two?
One, because between Siege, Gufran, I think Maravilla would get involved, and the zombie of Jonathan. That's 4 of you, and you see as Jonathan's flesh begins to sizzle and boil, and you realize you're gonna have to spend some time like retreating some of the muscle groups to make sure that they're still usable after this.
Okay.
So everybody make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
Right.
And you get a +5 because you are.
Yeah, next to
5%.
Gufran.
Okay.
Everyone?
Not me, right?
No.
12,
Okay.
17 from my part.
DC 10, I don't have problems with it.
Fine.
I rolled that with disadvantage, right? No, it's an ability. Well, saving throws are
Saving throw. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
it's
you're
not with
proficient,
an
it's the
advantage.
same.
okay.
Yeah.
But you don't roll because you're not touching the wood, right?
Oh, okay.
No, no.
I'm sorry.
This
I
is
still
for
rolled.
breathing the smoke.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
18.
all right.
Oh, breathing the
looks like-
smoke? Then
Yeah.
I have to roll as well. I'm sorry.
Wait,
I misunderstood.
so why I'm rolling?
I rolled
Because
a
the
14.
smoke is entering your
Okay.
system.
Okay.
I rolled a 14. I don't know if I missed.
Okay. No, it was DC 10 because you weren't
Okay.
crossing the initial sort of wall of. It's a difference between wall of fire and create bonfire. I think. Anyway.
Yeah, I get it. Thanks.
The order of magnitude is different. And you manage to push it open and enter, and as you shift the boulder and open the tunnel, there is a rush of fresh air that comes out, and it is strange to think that the air that's been trapped under the mountain is so much
Fresh.
cleaner and better than what you're currently in, and you push through and close it, and you are covered in sweat and soot and ash, and you just had a very uncomfortable 15 minutes.
Is everyone all right?
Yeah. Where
And you-
are we?
Another tunnel.
I'm gonna take off the mask and engage, I don't know, sanitizing protocols and prestidigitation to clean myself.
Where are we
same
in the
here.
map? Are we like here?
So
Or are we still,
with this, you'll be able to continue, and after the end of today, you will have done that. You have moved 1 hex, and you are going at normal speed, where normally you would be going at 1/4 speed if you didn't have access to these tunnels.
Sure. In question, to cross the Mithralfast Mountain, the Mithralfast Mountains.
You
do we
also have
tunnels?
yes.
Okay.
The trade road goes all the way from Hammerfast technically to Icebeak, but it gets slower through the center of the mountains. So it's faster if you can get a ship from Bergport to Icebeak. You can
Yeah.
be there within a day or two than having to walk. Mostly because it's 8 hours of walking versus 24 hours of ship.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, everybody takes a moment. Maravilla, I guess, offers some tea, or you use some of your water reserves to clear your throats.
2 hexes in 1 session. Damn.
I don't think you guys have a way to remove exhaustion levels, but... Oh, wait, you do! You have energy drinks, right?
No,
Yeah.
and I don't think. I mean, I don't have them. I the last ones I made was a long time ago, and I know I don't have any.
Well, yeah. You may...
I don't know if anyone else has.
Ooh.
I think you gave some to me, but truly I should have used them by now.
Yes, during your...
I imagine so. Yeah.
So Maravilla has one potion of exhaustion that like she gives to you, and like you gave it to her, so she's giving it back to you but it's like she tells you to drink it, but she's not going to like hold you down and give it to you. So if you don't want to,
what time of day is it right now?
it's about 4:30. Like you came out of the tunnel at 4, saw the fire, and at like 4:10 we're like, well, I guess we're pushing through, and you've had a very intense sweltering.
And we'll travel until around 7 or something.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Because you started late after the reward.
I'll take the potion and I'll say I need this. I'm a bit slow right now. Thanks. I'll give it back. And I'll drink it so I can remove one of the
Great.
levels of exhaustion.
And with that, you continue moving through the tunnels, and it's up to you. You'll as the sun is setting and darkness is beginning to cover these lands, you will have reached the end of this of the Dawnforge Mountains. You'll be in the middle of this wooded valley. There's still hills, forested hills, and you can camp there or camp in the last tunnel before you go out. It's up to you. You'll notice as you were going through all of these tunnels, they're all slightly different than the one that you were in. The stone are slightly different colors. You go through one where it's a deeper black on the ground. The walls, while they are all reinforced with metal, the patterns are slightly different. They all have the same, what you would call mundane magical effect, the common magical effect of reinforcement that allows these structures to exist and to be resistant to earthquakes and other dangers. But it seems that it's like bridges. Each one is a major work of its own. And while they all share many principles, they each have their main designer and the different slight materials and designs. One of them is a rich ochre color that feels like almost like you were walking through amber before coming out the other side.
Do they look older or more new related to the first one that we crossed?
They all look similar of age, but it's the difference between 300 and 800 years of well kept.
Okay, so nothing.
Stonework. They're very clearly different designs. Some have much more flowing curved shapes, but still quite simple. Not the scroll work or even leafy vines that you might expect of elven work, and others are extremely angular and almost modular. Like each section of wall is concentric squares, and then the next one are concentric diamonds, and then the next one are like they were assembled separately and placed in location.
Are they wider?
It's a bit like if you've been in subway stations that have been made into art pieces. Like each station has a clear look and style to it. Yeah. They're all roughly the same size. A few of them are 25 feet across. I think one probably is 35 feet, but they're all basically they allow 2 caravans to cross in opposite directions.
Yeah.
Two-way tunnel.
Just
Yes.
check.
I would say that we stay outside. I mean, after the fire, I need the cool breeze, not the stagnant air of these tunnels.
Right now, prefer cold.
I would go for whatever, just whatever is safe.
It's okay. I think we can risk it a little bit and have a campfire outside. We haven't had one of those in a while, haven't we?
Well, yeah, that's
We
true.
had it yesterday. I believe.
No,
What?
but yesterday we were inside the tunnel. I mean, like being outside.
Oh,
We were. We slept outside.
Yeah, outside, but in the huts. It's but it's
Anyway.
yeah.
Go.
So you establish yourselves at these wooded foothills to the east of the Dawnforge Mountains, and Maravilla begins cooking some food. Lena, if you want to participate as well.
Yeah, I'll put down the, because we started. Well, I put it in the morning, so I don't know if I can put it again. Let me see if I can find the.
I think it's every 24 hours.
I think so. So I wouldn't, but I would definitely.
Sure.
Actually, I don't know if I would be able to help if I'm coughing so much. So I'd prefer
Yeah,
to
you
stay
could
away
take a
little
break.
bit
Maravilla,
and
like
sketch.
she like pats her chest and goes like, explains that her hardy constitution is like something like soy dura, and he's feeling fine.
Awesome.
I think if you're resting, Lena, Sam would approach you and go, "What was the adventure that made the Lore Guild trust you?"
Well, I have a lot of friends, and there was this particular group of friends, and I'm actually very happy about it because it was a very happy ending. But as Juan tries to find the notes from that session just to get the names right, but just to make the story short, I'll explain all the entire deal with Eldera and the hag, and how we went into this tunnel that made us seasoned, and how we fought this multi-headed beast and the trolls, and how we managed to, well, before all of that, how we managed to trick the goblins, the trolls to let us pass into the house, and how we basically killed the hag. But more of the attention is going, I mean, a little bit of more attention is going to go to what was the name of that guy, the one that was in
Finn?
love with the other, yeah,
Halfling? Yeah.
the halfling,
Finn and Good Barrel.
yeah. So I'll try to focus the story on him and how he really wanted to get together with this girl, and seeing that happen at the tavern the other day, that was like very rewarding on its own. But I was really not aware that they actually heard the story. I mean, we did it for them.
You dealt with a powerful magical faction north of Hammerfest. And I realize Sam has logged everything you mentioned about the romance subplot, but their interest was, what did you as an entity do to get in the good graces of the Lore Guild? Because Sam wants to get into the Lore, wants to like gain access to the Lore Guild.
Or could I? Does he say that, or?
So I think in the conversations you've heard Sam say learning is good. You got the message about their favorite place. So like what Sam wants is knowledge, and the Lore Guild is currently the place that Sam knows has the most knowledge.
Well, if we're still within reach, like if we're still within the area of influence of Hammerfest, and there are places where we can get access to books and things that you can read, I think I can get access to those with my level now, and maybe I can get access to higher stuff, because even for me there are restricted areas in the libraries. So now that I'm a journey woman, maybe I can get access, and I would be very happy to share that with you. Yeah. And if everything gets, the way we want to when we return, I can use a little bit of that influence also, because we actually did a great job with the Kingfisher worm. So I don't think you will be left unrecognized.
Yes, further acts of service may lead to additional privileges.
Is there anything you're very interested about?
Everything.
Everything. Okay. So, okay, we'll narrow it down, but it's a very good idea to narrow down like your preferences, because sometimes if you go for everything, different things can be mixed up, and sometimes you're not going to get the you're going to get a lot of attention from different things, but if you focus on one thing, you can actually follow that thread to the end. I think that is a little bit more organized way of studying, more than just getting everything. Like, you're going to overwhelm yourself. Well, actually, that is a limitation for me. I don't think that is going to be a limitation for you, now that I think of it.
The body can be overwhelmed. I learned that with my previous design. Can you show me how you animated that rock to fight with us?
Like, do you want me to show you how I do it, or do you want me to just do it for you now?
Do you understand the theory behind it? That is what I'm interested in.
I think I do, but there's the magic that goes behind it, and then there is the practice that goes with it, because it's not just pouring magic into it. You actually have to learn a little bit of how bodies move and how they balance and how limbs actually work. So it's actually not just anatomy, but it's also the development of the ability to actually do it. The best question I can ask you, can you play an original? Can you make a song?
And Sam is thinking about that, and I will think on that. In the meantime, and Sam begins to talk to you about different ways of animating bodies, like the difference between a bipedal body, a body with 4 legs, even just one big object. Like, their example is a door. Like, how would you go about attaching limbs to a door to animate them? And then, if you're willing to answer also more about the magic behind things. And realize, Sam is very much from an arcane, wizarding tradition of carefully establishing what you want your construct to be able to do. And you tell me how different that is from the way Lena comes into being these entities.
So the way Lena does it is both combining the magic with the ability of drawing and understanding, and in a way also how creative you can get with the things that you have around you. So it's not just pouring magic into things, but it's really finding something that is going to help you and how to animate it to actually help you, because it's very different to give the power to a door to open than to give it limbs so that it can walk, and then what can it do as it walks? Can it open itself up? Or she's trying to go for how can you use your creativity into this, and that is why she's asking him about, can you write an original song? Because it's that the part of knowledge is one aspect, the other one is practice and doing it over and over again until you feel confident too. But that is an entire process. It's not something you do in one day, but that is also the cool thing about you can actually practice potentially forever, so you'll always get better at it. So it's just a matter of time. But I can definitely show you or share with you how to do it. I mean, it's just magic. Everyone can do it.
Thank you. I do not believe that is correct, but thank you.
Why not?
It requires study and talent.
I think everyone has. That is something that I always tell when I used to draw on the street. Everyone would say, "Oh, you draw so well," and I would never be able to do it. And I just go "Well, can you walk?" Sure, you can walk. You develop the ability by practicing and by falling down and by making mistakes, and that is the way it goes. It's just a matter of time.
And Sam is very interested in this conversation and very enthusiastic in engaging you in these matters. Does anybody else want to have a beat in this evening of
Meanwhile,
rest?
Sam is talking with Lina. I'm going to go for Johan.
All right. You see Johan that was listening to the conversation between Sam and Lina, and midway he just wanders off, and you can see him just going to and fro, just thinking.
I'm going to wait for Johan to be out of some area of that he can hear you, and say, Johan, a minute.
What?
A minute. I want to say something to you.
Talk away. I'm here.
About yesterday. Thank you for helping me try to understand how my core operates and everything. I'm really appreciative, and I'm going to put
Thank
my
you
hand.
for allowing me.
I'm going to put my hand on your shoulder.
All right.
That being said, I was thinking I had a little conversation yesterday. I have no problem if. Why are you trying to understand how I work? You want to create another one? You want to create a new body for you?
What is the light in?
It's white. It's just asking.
Neutral.
Do you want me to level with you? That's what you asking.
I want to know
All right.
what your intentions.
I think if you understand my intentions, maybe it's easier for you to help me. I did. Well, check your core for my own gain. I'm not intending on creating another one of you. I'm trying to understand your predecessor, from where you came from, the original design. It's quite hard since we have no documents from it. But there is nothing in this world that can escape my reach, and I can understand everything. And I want it.
That's good.
So yeah, I'm trying to see from your current design what I can learn and trace back, and of course improve. Because everything can be made perfect with my touch.
Everything can improve.
Yeah, I mean, you are the reason that you are a good example. When they say you are growing, it's more than just your body's changing, your capabilities, your understanding.
Yes.
When I first found you, you were, well, I said that I was going to level with you. You were a dumb machine. You follow me around all the places saying, Master, 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 how I can help you. Now you're a person. You have ideals. You have morals. Now we can talk eye to eye. Relatively. I'm not your height. I like the current siege. I'm looking forward to what you are about to become. I don't want a dumb weapon.
Does this mean that Sam will be here too? Does your investigation, your experimentation will change him, modify him, or try to replace him? And my hand start to tighten a little in the shoulders.
You clearly don't seem to understand me. Sam in this current moment is my partner. I appreciate and respect his thirst for knowledge. It's good to have someone to bounce ideas. And if he wants to go everywhere or to the other way to explore his ideas, who am I to say he can't? I'm just applying my projects to him, and he helps me back.
Good. If his decision, is all good.
Yeah.
So if you need any help, I can help you. As long as you don't turn into a demon or a devil. If that happens, I'm going to remove your head.
Yeah, but what if you can't?
I'm going to remove your head every time.
But what if I am good demon?
I'm going to remove your hand and your head.
You really don't leave a lot of options. I just praised you because your ability to grow, and now you cannot pass.
You know that I was designed to fight demons and devils, right?
Break
I'm
that
not going to-
design. What did I say? Go pass it. You are more than the one you were before. I don't know that self-book help bullshit that some people read.
I just say my
Siege.
word.
Make a history check with advantage.
Okay, that's history check with advantage. That's
Yes.
good. That's a new.
This is part of
Nat
your
20.
original programming. Yeah. So, you know what defines demons and devils is that they are evil. If a demon were to become
Good.
not
I
even
don't-
good, just neutral, they would cease to be a demon and become something else.
Yeah, when he said good or neutral demons, I don't process that.
Yeah,
I just
so,
think demons.
You fully understand that Johan is telling you, like, you could choose not to fight demons, but what that means is not fight evil creatures. So I think that's up to you, like, if Siege is willing to allow the existence of evil creatures or not. That is your programming. It is just information. You are not commanded to
No,
fight evil,
but
but you have the definition.
my definition is like my line of thinking is basically this is like a summary, Alejandro. If you want to go as a lich, I don't care. If you go as a demon, I'm going to kill you.
Baby steps. I think I don't have to expect a lot of you.
Good.
I mean,
I'm
you are
going
not-
to turn back and get away.
Such a waste. Such a waste.
So, any additional scenes that you would like to have? I think Maravilla would have noticed that Siege went to go talk to Johan. I won't speak for Patty if she wanted to like get closer, but as a friend, she would then approach and like engage you in conversation and see how you were doing. So, we can retcon that interaction later.
Yeah. I'll just say Kildav is with Garatha out, and he is basically just sitting next to Elgato and sent Garatha looking for the plants for the potion, knowing like Diego knows Kildav will not find any. I'm not even gonna attempt to roll, but this is right now. He can only think of why the fuck I stop doing this. Like
Yeah, like
now
you got out
I'm
of the
like,
habit.
Yeah, like I got out of the habit, and now Caleb is questioning the logic behind it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and I'm coughing, and that's it.
Yeah. I think there's a moment where you remember what Nazine Redthorn's plan was, their final plan with their ascension. They wanted to become a creature, basically an infernal version of a dragon, a creature powerful enough to just fly around and burn villages at will. And you have a moment of the wildfire that you just crossed, inflicted on purpose on villages.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, a vision of what could have been had you failed.
Yep.
All right. And with that, we will go on to the next day.
Long rest, yay!
Yep. Go ahead and take your long rest. As dawn breaks over these forested hills, and it is
and that would take the level of
Yep, the level of exhaustion, so you are now
checking.
back up to full, and your hit dice are back up. It's the sort of thing where if you were in a much more dangerous environment, like you would have been in a terrible position. But you had the time to recover from that ordeal. And even then, like, you guys survived that ordeal better than most. Like, your saving throws were near 20 most of the time. So, lower levels, people with their stats not as blessed as yours, that could have gone differently.
I suppose that everyone sleep on the tiny hut, right?
Yeah, unless stated otherwise, I assume you guys...
Well, if whatever the thing is, you will see again Siege in his standing position, making guard for all the night.
Yeah, Lena would have casted ritually Tiny Hut again with the same drawings, with the same things, because she already knows them. So
before you do that, Gilda would say, "Just mind plain, thanks." And I'll turn around over. Just plain, nothing.
So I'll just paint rock, and that's it.
Yeah, that's.
I cast my tiny hut for me, and Sam if you want to.
Yeah, Sam is in your hut.
So cool.
Oh,
I love mine. It's awesome. Thank you, Lena.
Lena hates.
Keep it always like this, please.
Alright, sure. If you want any additions, just let me know. We can workshop this.
It is
Definitely.
just perfect.
Alright, but still, just keep that in mind. Johan's ears are going to get the statues at the corners. The ears are going to get progressively larger with every.
What? Yeah.
Oh, in the painting in the tiny hut, you have a.
I don't see it.
You don't see it, but Lena does, and every time she does it, she giggles. Yeah. And then when she sees the bed and she turns around because her area is opposite to yours. Actually, anyone who wants to roll insight. I don't know, or if you have a, I don't know.
I think Gufran will.
By the way, Kilda's passive insight is 18.
I won't roll because I'm going to be outside making guard.
All right, so I would say you would be the one to
inside making guard. By the way, it's translucent.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're right. So I'm going to be inside.
So if you would notice that, I mean, Kelda would notice that every time that Lena sees her area, she looks at her room like for a little bit too long before she goes to sleep. But that, yeah.
Would you remind me what when I see her room, how it's like?
It's a very humble, very, very humble room, like in a how could I describe it? It's basically
like a cottage.
Yeah, like a cottage, like a very humble cottage with a window to a field of grass, and
Okay.
It looks very humble, but she takes a little bit longer than necessary, and then she goes to sleep right next to it.
Okay.
So, you wake up the next day. The cool of the morning is a refreshing experience, as the direct sunlight still hasn't reached you, as the morning sun is currently behind the mountains and you are in the shade of them, and you have a few hours of travel through these heavily forested hills, none of them reaching the height.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I think Gufran is now going to do like a morning prayer.
Sure.
Like, and can I use that to give inspiring leader to everybody?
Sure.
Awesome. So everybody starts the day. Everybody means Lena, Johan, Keldav, everybody in the group except me. Not the companions. Everybody gets 12 hit points. 12 temp hit points.
12
I
temp.
assume that
Okay.
you are excluding Sam too.
Yeah, because it's only 6 people. So I can give it to all of you, and I don't even include myself in it. It's just,
I think you should, but
You should.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
we are 6.
yeah.
I'm
we
really,
Are
Yeah.
we 6 or? Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, and I guess I'll include myself.
Okay.
I don't know why I was thinking that we were 7, but no.
Because
Uh,
Sam,
Damn, yeah.
literally, Sam, in terms of counting experience for encounters, is more than y'all.
Sure.
If you all are level 9 characters, Sam is 10.
We are 7.
That's just because of how much damage Sam can absorb.
Was that Siege or was that you, Jose? Because you said it in the most sweet way possible.
Jose, we're 7.
Yeah, all right.
Level 7, not 9.
You say Jose, I say Siege. What's the difference? No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, when we started playing this game, I didn't have a voice for Siege, okay?
Yeah, okay. I don't have a voice for Keldup, don't worry. It's all good.
You do have the body language though, which is usually
I was gonna say, like, you do the body language though.
Yeah.
Like I can see Kelda when it's Kelda and when it's Diego. They're two different people, totally different. Yeah.
okay. So you guys are traveling through again a fairly safe area because you're sticking to the trade road. Somebody go ahead and roll a d12.
Oh,
I
before
won't do
anyone
it.
rolls, Daniel, I am going to be right now looking like a madman for
Okay.
the herbs.
In fact, here, let's move over to a map with a trail, and let's set up your marching order.
Oh, love it.
oh, I love this map.
I will take the
beautiful.
middle.
Yep.
Yeah, I set up something that I thought was somewhat in character, but feel free to move yourselves around.
I think you're pretty well. Yeah, with
Yeah,
you with Rohit.
I'm
up
good there.
front, for sure. Yeah.
Dude, this
Pretty
map
good.
is beautiful. I love
Yeah.
it.
Beautiful
2 minute,
map.
2 minute
Tabletop. Yes.
tabletop. Very
I
good.
believe this
They
is
have-
Forest Edge.
Yeah. They have beautiful maps.
Yeah, yeah, like
Elena,
yeah.
can I get someone else for the temporary hit points?
Sure.
Ari gets it.
Awesome.
Wow.
I don't care.
I will say this: if you want, you can remove Ari from combat, and they will not be targeted and not take damage.
No, no.
The assumption will be that Ari kind of folds themselves up and goes into the haversack or other extra dimensional.
Yeah, but sometimes I want him to attack too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would
Ari can have
Lena, would Lena catch on this weird fixation that Johan has with Ari?
I think you've seen in the fight with the Hive Lord.
You see that every time that we go to camp, I set my my dome, and I grab some vials of mercury and set up tables, and I make myself some ramshack laboratory, and Ari is always fluttering near me with tools, and I say, Ari, this, and you see, wherever I go, Ari comes behind and I say, Ari, give me this, and Ari has it.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah,
cool.
pretty
In
caring
fact-
of my character.
Cool.
I-
Also, what would be the minimum for me to go up without having any problems with fall damage?
I
'Cause
mean,
I don't remember
10
this.
feet, you have a chance of like, if you fall from 10 feet, you take 1d6. I usually have it so that you can make an acrobatics check to try and reduce
So I'll
that
be
damage.
I'll be that height on the broom. Or actually, since we're going to a forest now, I'm just gonna go by foot. I'll enjoy the walk.
Okay,
This is a good view.
here. This is Ari
Yes,
as they
I
flutter and
know.
give tools. Listen, the illustration is really cool.
I know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
has potions too. It's
Yep.
pretty cool.
Does
Right,
Ari
so
have
cool.
any pronouns?
Yeah,
Is it used
he
for-
him.
Him. Okay. Thank you.
It's a male cast.
I'm gonna add him to the NPC list.
And was my first construct, so
Yes, I
Yeah.
know.
I actually will make one amends from the thing you
Sure.
did. I'll be on the ground because I'm looking for the herbs.
Okay. Let's go ahead and roll a d12.
In the middle,
And-
actually.
Okay, I'll roll the d12.
Yeah.
I'll roll the smallest d12 in history.
I
Fucker.
love your tiny dice.
Don't roll a 1. Don't be like me.
That's cocked.
I thought it was a chewy.
The problem with tiny dice.
That is a problem.
Yeah.
Tiny dice,
By the way, that was a 3.
They get cocked all the time.
No.
God damn it.
Yo,
Okay.
Why?
what is it?
Go ahead and
What is
make a perception
Why?
check with
Everybody?
Giratha.
Yeah, give me a sec. Not bad. Give me one sec. I don't remember Giratha's stat. Oh, +2. Oh no, perception +4. So at 20.
Excellent.
Not bad.
Hey.
So as you're traveling through the trade road, up and down these forested hills, you're sending Giratha up above the trees to scan for danger. The heat of the day begins to come up, and then you start to feel again that sensation where you're starting to sweat, and you're glad of the cloak that you're wearing. It seems made for these conditions. It somehow keeps the freshness of the shade on you, even though you're wearing armor and all your clothing under it. You can still feel as the cloak is somehow hiding you, somehow keeping the as if you were under the shade of a cool tree and not this dry heat where you are now. And you're sending your eyes through Giratha and trusting in the group to move you along, and you see a flutter, a large creature, maybe 300, 400 feet to the north of you. Large wings. You send Giratha up on another flight around. To the south of you, those aren't feathered wings. Those are scaly wings.
No
A
way.
dark color, that's no. No, that's not a dragon. You know that's not a dragon. You're looking and you see, and then there's a next to the one you saw to the north, there's another one. There's two, they're maybe the size of a horse, and they're fluttering, and you see as occasionally they go over the canopy, they're hunting something or herding something, and you warn the group that things are moving close to you. You reach the edge of a clearing, and I will move you to the map, and you have maybe 10 seconds as they're moving closer to you, and you gather they are pushing something towards you. And you don't know if they've spotted you or just they are pushing the groups closer together, and you happen to be in the path of that.
Yeah, I still don't know what they're pushing.
Are they pushing?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
You're not seeing that through the trees. Like you,
Okay.
Giratha's above the trees, and you're seeing these flying creatures, which I will tell you are wyverns, and they are doing something under the trees and occasionally popping over them, and they are You are going to be
Collide.
pincered between them.
Are we
I
trying
relay
to
all this
hide?
information.
So,
And I'll say-
are we trying to stay out of the way?
I think we should.
Evasion maneuvers.
To try it at least.
Yeah, let's try for a second. And I'll try to hide with helping El Gato doing it.
All right, so you guys are in this map. You're at the edge of a clearing. There are trees around you. Where are you hiding? Are you all hiding in one clump in a group?
No. Kelda will move over here, and I'll say, spread.
I'm going to move
Okay,
here.
Dohan is going
Okay.
to motion Ari to enter the bag of holding. I'm going to put a hand on Sam. Initiate the cloaking device, and I'm going to cast a invisibility level 3 for the both of us.
I'll put Giratha on this side of the map, by the way, but she is hiding as well.
Gufran, you feel a soft hand on your shoulder, and you feel graceful as I cast enhance ability on you for kitty thing. I don't remember.
Yeah. Cat's great.
That's Grace.
Yeah, kitty thing.
Thank you very much. Cuchito.
I don't know why. I don't know why it rolls on D&D Beyond, but anyway. And as for myself, I'm going to tap my hat, and I'm going to cast disguise self. And it's basically going to be me, but using the shades of colors of the forest to camouflage myself a little bit.
I'd appreciate if someone could roll for Maravilla.
I don't want to because I roll like shit.
Roll.
Elena, go.
Yeah, okay. Should I, a D20?
Yeah.
Is that...
Oh, you can roll in D&D Beyond. I just realized. Asthma.
Yeah, you can.
Can I roll on
Normally,
Mara
I would do that, but I am.
Yeah, you should.
Wait.
I think you can.
Wait. What are we
Stealth.
rolling? Stealth.
Stealth.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll roll for Mara, no problem.
Oh no, you can't.
No, I think
I
not.
lied.
Only the GM can, I think.
Oh, all right.
And
Yeah.
I say to Sam, just stay still.
So basically, I roll now without disadvantage because I have normally disadvantage, and now you gave me advantage with God's grace. So
I roll with advantage, and I rolled like shit.
Okay.
I rolled a 3 and a 9.
I'm going to.
I
roll.
Thank
rolled
God
two.
I have a plus 11.
Oh come on! I have a +6. I roll an 11.
All right, stealth check.
23 for me, and
hey,
Sam.
Maravilla.
He doesn't have a bonus.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Maravilla.
15 for Sam.
Yeah,
Very good.
dirty
That's a-
20 for me.
Minus.
Ooh,
Dirty 20
Maravilla's
for me.
doing great.
I think a
fucking-
metal
I fucking
statue
love this.
in the corner of the forest is a little visible.
I love this because Mara is like Patty's always like cursing the digital dice, and they have been rolling
super good,
very
Super
well.
good, yeah.
So this is just I don't know.
Okay, so I believe I have to double check because I need to check some perceptions of two kinds of creatures right now.
Elena, did you roll with advantage?
I
Or
rolled
you got a 22?
without advantage because I have disadvantage because of the plate armor.
Oh, so I leveled out. Okay.
Oh, you
cool.
leveled that out. Yeah. Thank you a lot. Like I'm always rolling like shit. Still.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I have
so-
a +3, so I roll a 19, and that's a 22. So, yeah, thank you.
Interesting. So because you guys rolled well enough in perception and stealth, there's a moment where you see what is happening as 4 wyverns are getting closer and closer, and you see as the rest of the creatures of the forest go deadly quiet as these large predators are hunting or playing with their food. As you see, crashing through the forest, large figures. Lena, you immediately recognize these are trolls. And they are being herded through the trees as these small for a dragon, big for anything else, flying wyverns are swooping down, and you see as they get close, their tails lash out and try and sting the troll, and the trolls push forward and try and get to the cover of trees. There's several of the large trolls that you saw many times in the valley of so-called Queen Stravala, and there are also several smaller, weaker trolls that are moving along with them. And you remember how hardy and how able to recover these trolls were, but you see a lot of them, they have puncture wounds that aren't sealing. And yes, you remember the main thing was fire that you used, but there were other ways to block their regeneration, and whatever it is, the stingers of these wyverns have it. And so all of you see as these, what would be already like a large band of trolls is slowly pushed.
Wait.
Yeah,
Are we staying out of this one?
Kiratha's not there.
it's out. So because you all rolled so well, there's a moment where you see, and you have a moment of, what are we doing? As the wyverns begin to approach, perched at the top of the trees.
Look.
And in fact, as you hear rustling above you, and wyverns perch, and you see some branches sway in trees very close to where you are. And currently, they are focused on their food.
Can I
But you
roll
are all in
insight
danger.
check for the trolls?
Sure.
I want to read like their reactions, and I know that it doesn't work like this, but I want to see like whether they have like evil intentions or something, or they're just running away with their families,
Yeah.
or something like that.
I'll give you insight with advantage.
If we participate in this, I know we probably are going to attack the wyverns, but I could use some troll parts.
God damn it, don't.
Of course, you weren't gonna say that. That's 20.
But if you want to avoid this, we can.
I know.
Maybe.
And we are.
So
Kelda,
yeah.
once, like, Kelda is going on an inside journey, and its main goal is a head-on adventure. So
Yeah. Trolls are powerful. They are giantkin. They are extremely resilient. Ordinarily, like, this force would be not your equal, but would be extremely dangerous in the area. But the wyverns themselves are hunting them and appear to have the ability to counteract the regeneration. Now the trolls are just trying to survive. Now, if that means killing you and feeding you to the wyverns, they would do that. But if you put up an initial front of strength to the point where you can present yourselves as more dangerous than the wyvern, they would not attack you. Now, probably what that would mean is you would have to engage the wyverns and hurt them or scare them in some way, prove that you were on a similar level of predator, and you think the response to that would be that the trolls would try and take advantage of the confusion and escape.
I think that that's the only way we can do this without fighting both the trolls and the wyverns?
Yeah.
We can just do nothing and let them have the trolls.
I don't think we can let them just, do nothing, because I think as soon as the trolls will see us, they will try to redirect like the wyverns to us.
Yeah. You do notice that as the trolls are sort of pushed into the open area, they are like, they notice and you realize this is a group that split up to try to survive. They were a larger group and there is recognition as they see themselves, and they were being hunted by these 4 wyverns. They split up and the wyverns herded them back together. And they're sort of stumbling into this open clearing.
Okay.
DM, from what I encountered trolls, but they were under Stravala's influence. Would I know if trolls are usually are they evil aligned, or do they go for their own motivations and they're like people?
I mean, they have their own motivations, but those motivations are generally food,
It's
a
very
place
basic
to...
primal.
Yeah,
Right.
they're giants, which means it's, well, sure, the way farmers used to feel bad for chickens, like you kill them quickly and then you eat them.
Okay.
But it's the if you spoke giant, maybe you could,
But I
like, they have some measure of intelligence. They have a society and a culture, such as it is, but it's mostly based around they are strong enough and resilient enough that they don't need to develop extremely complex hierarchical structures.
right. They
We
live
are-
in a society.
We are on an initiative order, right?
We are in a society.
Yeah,
We all sadly
I really think we can avoid this encounter.
I will say
can.
I wasn't
Yeah.
planning on it, but like the trolls are going to be stumbling around. There is going to be a fight in this clearing. They like, you could try and like keep stealthy enough to try and get away.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they haven't seen us. The wyverns are concentrated on the trolls. The trolls are concentrated on the wyverns. So if you don't want to be part of this, we can stay out. I have a fireball, but if you want to help the trolls,
This is the thing, and sadly, Siege is the first one on the
Initiative.
So what I see is the wyvern next to Mara. If I
It's
see,
high up. It's
yeah,
30 feet high on the top of the trees.
I know, but it's the near one.
Yeah.
So as soon I'm going to hold my action, as soon as I see that the wyvern try to attack or detect Mara, it's going to start the fight.
Okay, so you're holding your action.
Throwing
And that's your
the
turn?
lance if necessary.
Yeah. So now it's the
now
trolls.
it's Skeldor. We don't have telepathy, so we don't
I know, I
really
know.
have
No.
a way to communicate.
I know.
But I
Please,
think
trolls.
even though we don't have telepathy, I would look at all of your faces, trying to like read whether you're like going into battle or not, and I would try to emote that as well.
Yeah.
All right. Kildev, it's your turn. As you see the trolls sort of stumble and look around, and there's a realization in their faces as they're looking up at the trees. And you see as they're...
Escape.
Some of them are they're moving their claws and trying to sort of scrape at some of the puncture wounds they have. And in fact, you see as one of them, like, their claws bite in and they rip a chunk of flesh and they drop it, and you see as it starts to close back up.
Yeah, one question. Did they see any of us?
They currently don't seem to have spotted any of you. Like, they all have proficiency in perception, but you guys rolled well above a 15 and 17. So
I'll use my bonus action to hide again.
Super high.
I should have done that.
Okay, that's a 22.
sure.
Again,
You
not that
shift
good.
even further into the
Yeah.
trees.
I will stretch my bow
Mm-hmm.
and not attacking yet, I'll be holding my action as well. If anything looks at any one of us with malice intent, I will unleash my attacks.
Okay. Lena, it's now your turn.
Lena is going to try to hide behind any branches that she sees or any bushes,
Sure.
like going as much Homer Simpson / Arnold Schwarzenegger into it. And I don't know if I want to
Give me an intelligence check
sure.
as a free action.
Am I dumb? No, I'm not dumb.
No.
I'm definitely not dumb. 19.
Yeah. Lena's bright.
Yeah,
So
I've
you're
studied
trying
these
to think
things.
back. The dangers that you'd heard about. The trade route is supposed to be quite safe. There's goblins and orcs way to the north. You're trying to remember where you think these trolls fled the valley of Queen Stravala. Like when her power broke, the large population of trolls that served her scattered across, and you think like this group are maybe survivors from that valley.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if they had any clothes that I could recognize, or if they look different.
You
but I
recognize some
guess-
of the scraps that they're wearing? Yeah. Now that you're having some time to look at them.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm still thinking. I think for now, I think I'm just going to hold my action as well. I'm going to knock a bolt on the crossbow, and I'm just going to hold it. I have ideas of what I could do, but I want to see the reaction of the group first, because this is not a safe area for me either.
Okay. I think Maravilla is going to hold her action, and we'll move on to Johan.
Okay,
Or you can just all tell me, like, if you're all just holding to wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
Let me. I want to know what Johan's gonna do. Johan, what are you gonna do?
You can now have appear into the inner monologue of Johan. Well, it would be stupid to interfere in this kind of fight. It isn't our fight. I could use the parts, the wings, the blood, maybe some organs, but I can harvest those later, after the wyverns left. So of course, and I assume that the group has a modicum of intelligence, and they are going to run in case of trouble. I'm going to hold my action to use Dimension Door and live with Sam if something goes wrong. Because everyone can leave this place
Of course.
faster than me.
Just
Okay, Kufran, as you're, it reaches your turn, you see as these wyverns fly over and begin harassing the trolls. You see as their tails reach out and sting some of the larger ones, and then swoop at some of the smaller, weaker ones. They're not younglings. They're just, you think they were stunted, or like sometimes trolls grow in different ways. They mutate in different ways, and you think these are perhaps something else. You're trying to think of the stories that Lena mentioned about it. She didn't mention like any particularly monstrous multi-headed trolls or trolls that had elemental stuff. So it's like, were these like trolls that could fit in smaller tunnels for some reason? But you see as the wyverns are playing with the trolls. And go ahead and take your turn
Okay.
as the
so
stings, and you hear the...
I wanted to ask this, like, as a general perception, who looks squishiest out of Lena and Johan?
You don't see me, but yeah.
No, but
I would say Lena.
Usual terms. Yeah, Lena. Yeah, that was my
Yeah.
perception as well. Okay, So Girlfriend is not the brightest, but she always assumes that everybody else is quicker than her. So if nothing has happened, she's going to assume that everybody's kind of waiting to see this development. So as a bonus action, she's gonna turn around and she's gonna open like a little bit of a piece of parchment that has a little prayer to Lehaba. She's gonna read that, and I'm gonna try to read it as when you see sometimes people praying that they don't.
Yeah.
They just almost don't say the words out loud, like they just mumble them. Yeah, exactly. Sort of like that. And she's gonna turn towards Lena, and she's gonna cast Shield of Faith on her as a bonus action. I'll try to be as quiet as I can, so if you need me to roll,
I'm not going to ask you to make another stealth check as a part of it. So
that's a bonus action, and with my main action, she's gonna hold, if I can, Ray of Frost to let it out as soon as somebody like gets hit or like as soon as the battle commences, basically.
Okay.
And that's about it. That's my turn.
Interesting. I wasn't expecting this because I wasn't expecting you to roll well enough to be able to see this coming. Yeah. So because I also want to see what Buddy does, I think we're going to call it here, and we'll start with the next round, and I'll work out there. Basically, if you don't want to get involved in the fight, you need to start moving away.
Yeah. Okay.
Because this is going to get messy and spread out. As the trolls are basically backed into a corner and forced to fight for their lives.
Cool.
So the odds of them stumbling into your group are quite high.
Well,
But
my
we're
decision
going to
was...
pick up on that next session.
Holy cow. It's very intense.
Very intense.
I was like, oh shit, you know. Like...
Again, like this is a more than twice deadly encounter, but also it's sort of a free-for-all. Like the wyverns will be happy to eat you, but also they're very much enjoying their pursuit of the trolls.
Yeah.
The trolls are very much afraid of the wyverns, so they're willing to fight them, but they're so
great scenario, by the way. This is super interesting, like being able to watch this. So if you, dear audience, you're watching this, thank you for watching. Give us a like, share, subscribe to the channel. We always are looking for more.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're trying to grow as a channel, and yeah, I hope that you're enjoying this awesome campaign that we're having right now.
And maybe Patti will show up next time and go like, "What are you waiting for? Attack!" And everything will be much simpler. But
knowing Patti, maybe you're gonna get into combat, maybe you're gonna go away. Who knows?
yeah,
Totally.
If we get into combat, I'm out. I don't know how to. I'm doing great.
I was like, please find us, please find us, please find us. Never happened.
What I will say is like there will be perception checks happening as the fight is happening, but you will also be making stealth checks. You know, if you're moving, like most of you stayed put, so that's why I didn't ask for stealth checks again. But yeah, like I said, staying put is going to become more and more dangerous as entities start stumbling around, and then all right, so
Thank you,
very
everyone.
interesting. Yeah, we'll pick this up next time
Thanks.
to see what happens here.
But
Yeah.
Say
Thanks.
goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody. I'll see you next time.
exactly.